Hello everybody. Okay, so a little follow-up video and do some explanation about the video I had posted just prior to this. Talking about the more projects setup here. A little while back, probably, oh geez, almost a year and a half, 2 years ago, I guess. I started tinkering around with DCS, the Digital Combat Simulator, which is the screen you see here, and some of the interface capabilities with an independent project that someone had done called DCS BIOS. The developer has gone on and off of the project a few times, and it's been picked up off and on by some other developers. But basically, the DCS BIOS is an interface that allows you to use real-world hardware and for it to talk to and receive data from the DCS game itself. So, with that in mind, I went and decided to build an actual working UFC, the upfront controller. Similar to what you see on the screen here. You see this guy right here in the center of the window. We'll zoom in on this guy. Yeah. Of course, mine isn't, black and gray. It's red and gray because I'm using a piece of clear plexi over the front, and I kind of like the red of the motherboard that I had designed. I'm just using some Blender as some basic CAD software, and then some actual circuit development software. I went and designed that board, sent it off overseas, got it built, and this whole thing runs off of an Arduino. I designed the board so it'll actually run off of either an Arduino Uno or Uno compatible, or an Arduino Nano, which is the small, almost flash drive sized one. It will work on either one. I had finally just gotten around to, earlier this year, got hold of a 3D printer. It's a 3D resin photo printer. So it uses, just a liquid photosensitive resin and basically an LCD screen, similar to what you'd find on your phone, to project a shape on the bottom of a piece of clear plastic film. Causes that resin to harden, and then the platen picks up, was it a half, 0.005 millimeter, picks up, projects a new image, picks up, projects a new image, and it just keeps building that, and it stacks up and creates those items, and allows you to create some pretty fine detail in various things. Let's see how well this shows up here. Oop, if I could find the camera frame. So this is the Green Lantern ring. It was one of the test prints I was dealing with. But yeah, some really good high quality detail. And it was enough detail where I could actually print these faceplate buttons, and kind of print embossed letterings into the face. And then this is just a wax fill, good old crayons, that's been rubbed into that etching to provide, the contrasting colors. And of course, this probably doesn't show up very well on this poor old camera at all, with the lighting and so on. And it's zoomed in from a couple feet away. But got the boards printed, got that faceplate printed, got hold of a piece of plexiglass, just polycarbonate. Using the templates I had created from Blender, cut all that out and kind of put this together, some good old, M3 bolts, and screws right into the little resin feet that I had built for it as well. Designed them with a 3mm hole in it, because this stuff I have found is, once it's cured, it's kind of like glass. It's got some very good tensile strength, but as soon as you put any torque onto it, it will shatter. So that's due to this particular type of resin. This is just the standard resin. They call the standard gray. You can get alternates. Some of them are actually PLA similar. Some you can get are kind of rubberized. But yeah, this just the standard gray turns into glass. So you can drop them. They will break. These are solid, so yes, you would have to drop them or throw them pretty darn hard to break them. So in this application, it works fine because it's not going anywhere. But anyway, so I've got the Arduino programmed with the DCS BIOS interface to talk to the game, which is up on screen. So now that any of these functions can be replicated on this device, on the actual physical hardware device. So this can be extended to where you can also do other cockpit switches, lights, all of that. The caution panel can be rebuilt. Just if you've got the resources and the time to go and build that. So yeah, this has been my project now for a couple of years, and finally got a functional item because I just been tinkering on it and just taking my time with it and not going anywhere fast. So with that in mind, you can see that every button press I do on this device, it gets replicated in game and on screen. So if you start the software, so give me just a second. It says it's already got an instance running. I'm going to have to tab out of game. Connect the device. There we go. You saw there was a red blinking light just now. So we'll click back in game. Okay, now, there we go. So the steer up and down switches, all of the number pad switches, all of these work. And they do their assigned function in the game. Now you see there's these 6 gray ones that are plain, they're unlabeled. They're not labeled or used in-game natively. I've taken and programmed them so that on my hardware version of this device, I've got them tied to the power panel, which is for the battery, the inverter, and the APU generator switch on and off, respectively, for each of those. So, and oh yeah, I also included this little guy right here, this master crossing switch, which you can see up here in the center of the screen, is LED backlit. As I said, the DCS BIOS receives data from the game as well, so the game can actually send information telling this LED when to turn on and off. So if I were to turn on the battery, the inverter, and turn on the APU generator, that does cause a master caution warning. So you've got both the blinking light in game and it's going off here on the panel as well. And I managed to actually kind of back print the master caution lettering into the back of that, so it actually shows up fairly well in real life. And this is attached to a button as well, so just like if you were to press this on screen by clicking that, you can click this button here as well to reset. All of those inputs work. So yeah, it's just a quick rundown. Have a good day.